His older brother, Lorenzo, was always like one of my best friends growing up. And, we played AAU basketball and Pee Wee football all the time growing up. And Sonny was kind of always, tagging along with them and always trying to jump in and, go against us to compete against us a little bit. And we always, had fun playing with him growing up. And we always figured he was going to be, kind of more like his dad, a little bigger. And, so we always, we played against him growing up.
Jack, what's the attitude of this club right now? Obviously, the regular season didn't end the way you wanted. Mm-hmm. Is this an angry football team that'll go to the Rose Bowl?
I think definitely, we're a little pissed off. I think it was kind of a little shockwave through our team. I think maybe we needed it, and I think kind of sparked us. And we've been practicing a lot more, physical, a lot more aggressive, and just getting back to the fundamentals of things. And I think you're going to see a good football team come January 1st.
The chirping you're hearing out of there, and I don't want you to get into, that, but just, there's comments that this is a soft team and whatever. Does that fire you guys up? And obviously you're going to play them again next year. I mean, I can only imagine what that'll build up.
I just tell them, go ahead and enjoy it. Enjoy it for a year. I don't know if they're going to get the opportunity to say that stuff and, chirp all they want, after next year. So I'll just say, have fun with it. Tell them enjoy it. And, we'll be ready come that third Saturday in November next year.
That's kind of been the narrative going into this game. Utah is supposed to be this physical team, et cetera, and a lot of the national pundits, et cetera, are looking at that Ohio State-Michigan game as, are you guys up to the task?
Yeah, that's definitely in the back of our minds. Like you said, Utah's kind of got that tough team label on them too, so it's kind of like a challenge. People are challenging us right now, saying we're not tough, saying we can't stop the run and run the ball on a tough team. So definitely firing us up a bit, to get out there and play them.
Jack, are you intrigued by what's going on nationally? I mean, you like you talked about what Sonny has done, but you kind of had dreams of playing in that Winter League last year.
Yeah.
You remember? Is it crazy kind of what's going on in college football right now, from your perspective as a player in the middle of it?
I think it's definitely crazy. It's unprecedented times. But I think it's a good step. For college football, I think it's a good opportunity for kids to make some money off their, off their hard work and stuff like that. That doesn't take any money out of the university's hands. So I think it's definitely a wild time in college football because it's never happened before. And I think here in a few years, stuff will straighten itself out and it'll be more kind of controlled, I guess, in a way.
Jack, as Utah goes, when you look at them in film, how do they look tough? Like, I know it's their reputation, but does that stand out on film when you watch them?
They're a good football team. It's kind of all we can say right now is, they're a good, tough football team, and we respect them, and we're going to go in there and we expect to play a good football team.
Jack, you said that maybe you guys needed what happened against Michigan to happen. Why do you say that?
I don't necessarily know if we needed it, but it kind of like a wake-up call. Maybe we weren't playing as tough as we should. Maybe we weren't, playing as hard as we could every day in practice. Taking the little things seriously, and it kind of sucks. For a whole year they get to talk trash to us and post all those funny memes on Twitter and all that stuff, and it's all in good fun in the rivalry, but we're just gonna be ready for next year.
And when you analyze what happened in that game, how do you explain the way that they did control the line of scrimmage as well as they did, especially running the ball?
I think it was they had a good scheme. They obviously had a good scheme going against our defense, and just a couple. Really football. The game of football comes down to a few plays in every game. Obviously they had a couple long runs, and they busted a few through the middle. But I don't think it's as bad as it seemed for the viewers on TV. But it is what it is. They ran for a number of yards and X number of touchdowns. So at the end of the day, there's not much we can say about it.
Does that loss sting a little bit more because you're from here?
Oh yeah, definitely it does. Especially me being a freshman my first year here, and we were on like an 8-game win streak against them in my first year here. We know we take the loss to them. It kind of burns a little extra. But like I said, all we can do is get ready for next year.
I don't like to necessarily compare you to Aiden, but he's from Michigan. He had to kind of deal with that, the fact that 8 straight losses and whatnot.
Right.
It seemed like he used all that motivation, exploded in that game.
Mm-hmm.
You're from here, and now this is how you kind of started your career here. Can you kind of see Can you kind of do the same thing here? Do you feel like you can use this as motivation for yourself?
Yeah, no, I definitely think, all of us are going to be using that as motivation this whole offseason. Aiden Hutchinson's a great player. I got nothing but, a lot of respect for him and what he's been able to do. And the season he's had, he was in I think he finished second in Heisman voting as a defensive end, which is crazy. So, we're hoping to do the same thing next year and just have a lot of respect for him.
Jack, when you look at, I know there's one more game here, when you look at this freshman season, your development, how much you produced, did it go the way you wanted? Was it better? Was it worse? How do you evaluate it?
It's kind of tough to do that. All of us come in are really competitive guys. I think to play the game of football, you got to be a really high competitive guy and set expectations really high. So, maybe it didn't go exactly the way I wanted it to go. I think I'd be lying if I said that, but I think it was a good step in the direction for my career, and but we have more important things in my career. I think we need to take care of the game against the Rose Bowl game and come together as a team collectively.
As you sit there and start maybe looking ahead to that second year, what did you learn that you're trying to apply already? Maybe?
I just think it's just the day-to-day stuff. It's a grind. The season, it's a long season, and just kind of staying locked in and focused. From fall camp, which is another grind in itself, and then jumping right into the season. So I think we all kind of learn from it. We're gonna, attack that, and the next season, a little bit differently, a little more aggressive. So looking forward to that.
Did you sneak a peek at any video of Oklahoma State's defense in the last 2 years or the last couple of games they played, et cetera?
Yeah,
the changes that are coming. What stood out about it? Go ahead.
I think what stood out to me is they're always attacking, which I like. They're always bringing a couple guys, and they're always attacking the offense instead of playing on their heels, and I like that. So hopefully we do some of that, because I think they led the country in sacks this year, if I'm right. I don't know if that's correct or not, but I think Coach Knowles obviously knows what he's doing. So hopefully, I'm excited to get to talk to him.
Are you intrigued by that Leo position? I don't know who would end up playing it, but where they kind of stand the guy up all the time.
Yeah, it's definitely intriguing, for a guy like me who's kind of played everywhere, growing up, and played linebacker my majority of my life until high school, and how you kind of stand him up and back him off the ball. It's definitely intriguing for a guy like me who likes to play in space too. So I took a little bit of a look at that position, so it looks pretty cool.
How are you in coverage at this point?
You said what?
How are you in coverage? Like how Zach was sometimes when he was back off the line of scrimmage.
I think I'm pretty good in coverage. I'd like to say that. So we'll see how it plays out.
Jack, how hard was it to make that transition in mid-season, different play caller, schematic tweaks? Now that you've got a little time to kind of process it, how tough was that?
The coaches made it easy. I just want to give a big shout out to Coach Coombs. Obviously the position he was in wasn't easy. Getting all that hate on social media and getting demoted mid-season, it wasn't easy for him, and he showed us what it was to be a leader and what it is to be a true man in this business. The way he came back to work, the next day, never saw him down. He was in the weight room working out and always in a positive mindset, checking how we're doing, and then just busting his ass as hard as he could to coach us. And when we saw that, it kind of motivated us, because that was such a tough position. I don't think people really realize how hard a position that was for him. Only 3 games into being a D coordinator, and then someone day, we changed it a little bit. So I just want to give a shout out to Coach Coombs, who went through that. And then, I think he was a big part of how it was so easy. It wasn't any pushback from him, and it wasn't him, kind of in his feelings about it. He kind of accepted it, and then we were able to move forward smoothly because of it. So I think the coach did a great job of moving forward through that.
We don't know what's going to happen. Do you hope he returns?
Oh, yeah. I love Coach Coombs. Me and Coach Coombs have a great relationship. I think everybody on the defense loves Coach Coombs around the building as well. So I definitely want Coach Coombs back.
You were mentioning kind of what Jim Knowles brings to a defense. And I'm curious, are you expecting an offseason, a spring full of change, like in terms of scheme and things like that? Or?
I don't know necessarily if our scheme will change a whole lot. I think we're still going to do a lot of the same things schematically, but maybe, tweak things here and there to how he likes it and how he thinks, it could help us. And I think we're all open for it, for the little bit of the change, and excited to get into that and start learning how to play some more of that stuff. So.
How different have these bowl practices been for you and JT? Do you feel more responsibility, on the defensive line? Is this more of a transition kind of time for you guys as you head into your sophomore year?
I'm not sure if that's the right way to put it. I think more so it's kind of like our mindset's changed a little bit, you know, as this season's kind of coming to a close, and me and JT are, you know, developing and, you know, growing into men. I think we kind of are, you know, starting to realize that we got to take it to the next level with everything we do, and it's kind of, you know, we're going to have more of an important role next year and more of a leadership role next year that our defense needs. I think that's kind of more the way it's going for us right now.
Jackie,
Yeah.
you
Last
talked
question right
about
here.
being angry, teams angry, kind of having to deal with that Michigan loss. Has that shown up in like practice at all, like when you guys are between the lines?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, you know, our team kind of, you know, came back to practice the last few practices, and you can see kind of the level of intensity rise and how hard we're going in between the lines, and you know, going against each other. It's definitely been a lot different. And so, you know, this offseason we're gonna, you know, use it as fuel, like I said, and because you know, obviously it stings everybody in this organization.
I know you want to win, obviously. That's the main goal here. But to the point of you guys are in year 2, what do you personally? What do you want to get out of the Rose Bowl that you can kind of take in the spring practice and what counts?
You know, I think we definitely need to walk away with a win. You know, I think we got to end the season the right way, and you know, because we've had too good of a year to you know, go in the Rose Bowl and lay an egg. So I definitely look forward to, you know, getting a win in the Rose Bowl and you know, coming out of it the right way, and that's the only thing you do that is with a win. So.
You talked about the 2022 class, and a guy like CJ Hicks with strong Ohio ties like you had, and who was a strong peer recruiter like you also had. Just how important is that to see a guy who's going to come in with almost kind of like how your level of energy was, just in terms of that? Just how important is that?
Oh, it's huge. You know, CJ's a great player. You know, really athletic kid, and I, you know, happen to know CJ pretty well, you know, through the recruiting process. And I know we're excited to have him, and you know, he's been a huge part to his class. I'm glad he kind of took on that role of you know, recruiting and going out and getting guys that he thought, you know, could come and help this team. You know, they got a great class, so we're all excited to have those guys coming in, you know, this next year, and you know, hopefully they can help us out.
Jack.